So this is section 4.6, medians of triangles. Let's get some vocab out of the way. So a median of a triangle is a segment from one vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. So you find the middle of a segment connected across to that angle. That's a median.
I got 4.7.
Flip the page.
I think it's behind 4.7.
The other way, my guy.
The other way. The again. There you go. They're a little out of order, sorry. My bad.
Is the equation?
No, just find 4.6.
Is the equation as long as the other one? Yesterday?
There is no equation for this.
Oh.
So from the midpoint of one side across to that angle, that can happen 3 different times. So 3 medians per triangle, just like there's 3 angles, 3 sides, 3 medians. All right, so we are going to practice drawing a median. So pick a side. I'm going to pick CB, since that one's pretty easy to divide in 2, right? So what is half of 6? 3. So if I find the midpoint, now I have 3 here and 3 here. If I connect that across, that's a median. So you just have to draw one median in each of these triangles.
So we pick any side we want and split it.
For this one, yeah. Usually you're given the median, but if it says draw a median, pick it, draw it. Okay? So on the next one, I'm going to do DF because, again, it's an even number. So what's half of 4? 2. So I'd have 2 here, 2 here, and then I'd connect. All right, the next one, it kind of takes that option away. They're all 5. So what's half of 5? So we have 2.5 and 2.5, and I am going to connect them. So in this next section, the median, or one of the medians, is already given to us. They're also giving us the length of a segment. So here they're saying that segment AD is 6 units long. We're looking for segment DC. Anyone have any thoughts? Yeah, remember D would have to be the midpoint. So this is 6, this is 6. Answer 6. On number 5, they give us the length of AC. So AC would be this whole thing is 18. We want to find AD. So now it would be 9. So sometimes it's the same. If they give you a small segment and you're looking for the other small one, they're the same. If they give you the whole thing and you're looking for one of the small ones, you just divide by 2. So the last one would be careful. They give us AD, so they give us this guy, but then they ask for the whole thing. So the whole thing is 8. So the centroid is the spot where all 3 medians cross. So the 3 medians intersect at one point. That point is called the centroid. The centroid is 2/3 of the distance from each vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. So if you call this little segment X, this one would be twice as long. This, from here to here, it's 2/3 of the length of the whole thing. So this is like 2/3. This would be 1/3. All right, so here they give us the length of the entire median, okay? So from here to here, it's 24 units long. See that up here? Now, they're asking us to find the 2 segments that are made from the median created by the centroid, right? So the entire median, centroid's here. I want to know how long this guy is and how long this guy is, okay? Now, the trick is the fraction 2/3. This guy from the vertex to the centroid is 2/3. This guy down here from the midpoint to the centroid, that's 1/3. Add this to your notes since you guys were missing that picture of the centroid on the last one. That's basically what you need to know. Okay? So to find DE, I am going to do 2/3 times 24. To find ED, I'm going to do 1/3 times 24. Yep, so what's 2/3 times 24? 16. What's 1/3 times 24? 8. The longer one is always twice the size of the smaller one. So if you find one, the longer one, you can divide by 2 to find the other one. If you find the smaller one, you can multiply by 2 to find the longer one, or you can just do the 2/3, 1/3 trick. Questions? All right, here's number 8. So for number 8, they give us the smaller one. So if the smaller one's 4, how long's the bigger one? 8. And how long's the whole thing? 12. Good.
Oh, what was the 5?
Yeah, so again, if this is 1/3 of the whole thing, and this is 2/3 of the whole thing, you can just multiply the smaller one by 2 to find that. If that's confusing, you could also just write an equation.
Okay, go back through the 1/3 of the whole thing and then
So let me go back to this guy. Let me get rid of those. Okay, so if you're looking at a triangle and you have the centroid right here, this from here to here is 1/3 the length of the whole thing. So 1/3 times the whole thing. This from here to here is 2/3 times the whole thing.
It's like where you got that dot, if you like go across, so everything at the bottom would be 1/3 and everything at the top.
So from here to here is 1/3.
Right.
From here to here is 2/3. And see how those add to give you a whole thing? The whole thing. Okay? And then so the longer one is twice the size of the bigger one. All right, so we're good on this one? All right. Number 9. So now we're given QN. Is QN the longer side or the shorter side? The longer one goes to the vertex. That's how you can tell, or it usually appears to be longer. So if this one's 20, this one would be what? 10. Good. And then how long is the whole thing? 30. Good. Now, there are ways to write an equation for this too. So like, let's say you're looking for the whole thing. You would do 2/3. The whole thing is how we got the 20. And then you could solve that equation to find the length of the whole thing. I think that's more complicated than it needs to be. I think it's easier just to think 2/3, 1/3. This one's half the length of this one. Okay? Questions? Some people like writing equations. All right, here is number 10. So find EF and BE if the whole thing is 30. So this is kind of like the last one in reverse, right? If the whole thing is 30, from the midpoint to the centroid, that's EF, that's going to be 1/3 the whole thing. From the centroid to the vertex is going to be 2/3 the length of the whole thing. Has anyone multiplied those out? Which one's 10? EF is 10. BE is 20. Good. Questions? All right, here's 11. All right, so here they give us DA. What does DE? What does DA represent? The whole thing. So what am I going to do to find EA? 2/3 times 27. What am I going to do to find DE? 1/3 times 27. 18 and what? Sorry, I'm kind of out of room. 18 and 9. Good. And double check, those should add to make the whole thing, right? And 18 plus 9 is 27. And the smaller one should multiply by 2 to get the bigger one. So there's a lot of ways to check your math on this. Questions? All right. I think this is the last one, right? You don't have a surprise example in your notes? All right. KH is 12. Is that the whole thing? The little one, the longer one? What is it? That's the longer one. So if I want to find JH, that's the whole thing, right? Okay, any strategies we want to use? 12 divided by 2 is what? And that would be this guy. So the whole thing would be 18. That's one way to do it, or you could write that equation like I was talking about earlier. I know that 2/3 times that measure JH is how they came up with 12 in the first place. And then you can multiply both sides. All right, that's all I got planned for you guys. Any questions? So we are going to do a review on Friday of this week. We are going to do a little activity next Monday to get us ready for section 4.7. 4.7 is Tuesday, chapter review Wednesday, test on Thursday, and then we're going to do a little in-class activity, sort of wrap everything up on Friday of next week, okay? Any questions on what's coming or what we've done previously, scheduling-wise, content-wise? Nope. All right, here comes the homework.